Undercover Slaves, the show where we used to play 40k, but now we play 30k, and we don't even play that very much.
Yeah. Or record it.
Or record it. I will blame 100% of that, instead of our busy lives, on
YouTube.
The CEO of YouTube. Susan Y. Jockey. YouTube.
Why'd you do that?
CEO of YouTube. She's a bad person, and I blame all of YouTube's faults on her. Moving along, well, they clawed back our $51 we had earned.
Making Patreon, you need to support us.
You need 100
USD.
You need 100 USD to like get your money cashed out by YouTube. And in the 3 or 4 years we were doing this, I think we accrued, I want to say $51 US or something like that. And then on February 20th, they basically clawed that back. Thanks, guys. So yeah, our incentives have been well.
So follow us on Patreon and give us a lot.
We actually have to start a Patreon. That'd be funny. We probably should. But yeah, so here we go with 30k, 3,500 points.
Yeah, big points.
What do you got, Clarence?
Got a Legion list. It's
been
a long time since I played that. But it's my Night Lords, their trader. We're trying fortifications out.
We are.
Something I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, you play Iron Warriors, Ben. Like, why don't you ever use fortifications? Well, we're trying that now.
We are.
So that's our new thing. What are you playing that I just spoiled?
I'm playing Iron Warriors. That's in the Sigilite. And I also have a fortification, but mine's even bigger. Mine's the Firestorm.
It has
Redoubt.
Yeah, it's got a lot of guns on top.
And it's got guns and other people with guns on top of it.
Shoot, lots of guns.
It's a rather Spartan board for us, as you can see.
For once.
Well, part of that reason is our level of effort wasn't what it used to be. Second, we wanted to actually leave space to play fortifications.
Yeah.
So in the center, we got our cool kind of big OS blocking. What would you call that? A fortress
of G.I. Joe fortress.
Fortress of G.I. Joe redemptioning. And then we've got some buttes. And
They're buttes.
They're buttes, let me tell you. Various rocks of other kinds. Oh, and the occasional ruin, I guess we'll call it.
Movie poster.
The very quickly made tournament standard ruins.
Yeah.
We also came up with a bit of a house rule because we couldn't find it, or at least you couldn't find it, right? How fortifications are played.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm just looking through the new rules improperly, but assume they.
For now, we think it works this way because we made it up. We just said like. We randomized deployments. So we said if it's corners, you could pull one ruin.
Yeah.
If it's otherwise, you could pull like one of two.
Yeah.
So yeah, if we have to make room wherever we respectively deploy, we'll just pull a ruin and put our little bunker down.
It's only if you have to make
room. Right. But you'll see, I mean, just to make this a really long-winded intro.
That you'll skip.
It's a weird rule to be able to take the fortifications, because as cool as it is, unless you know you're kind of starting with a blank slate board with not a lot of terrain on it. Generally, no. We play with a lot of terrain, so it's like, and plus, man, if someone were to show up with this to a game, it's like, fuck, man, how do you accommodate that? I just don't know. It's a little big. Sometimes you have to buy 2 airplane tickets.
They can't take this one, but they can take the one with the giant fucking gun.
Right. Oh, your pizza's there.
Ooh.
Oh, good. We'll be back. Your pizza.
I did say call.
No, whatever. That's a good ending for it. We're back. As you can see, the pizza is here and Clarence is eating it.
Yeah, I'm happy.
So, we're really putting on a show for you guys today. What else can we say, Clarence? There are 5 objectives.
Yep, there's 5 objectives.
And we ended up with no night fight for Night Lords.
Yeah.
And normal as deployment.
Yeah.
Which is not corners or short deployment. It's normal.
It's
a dawn.
Non-standard, even though it's very
it's very standard. It's a dawning of the age of the war. So,
but not 3.
But yeah, so I guess we'll be back after deployment and stuff, an army list that we totally haven't already shot. I wonder if I'll fuck up and forget about my psychic powers.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be back with terrain and
3,500 point Night Lord Predator Legion list. My warlord is Sevatar. He's got his custom Master of Ambush trait. Outflankers get acute senses. I have the named Apothecary. It's Major Mulansahai, I think he's called. And my third HQ choice is a Previan. He's got Artificer Armor, Melta Bombs, Chainglaive, Refractor Field, and a Volkite. And then he's got 3 Borax with him. And they have the biocorrosive ammo, enhanced targeting arrays, and frag grenades and lightning guns, obviously. I have 2 squads of 10 Terror Marines. They've got Volkites on everyone, Artificer armor, melta bombs on the sergeants, and one has a chain glaive. I have a unit of 5 support Marines with plasma guns and Artificer armor on the sergeant. I have 2 units of 5 Cataphractic Terminators. 1 unit has teleporters, combi plasmas, and power axes, and the other one has 4 power fists and chain fists on the sergeant. I've got 10 Night Raptors. It's 5 chain glaives, Artificer, melta bomb on the sergeant, and 5 double lightning claws. I've Scaran with last can sponsons, Dozer Blade, and Armored Ceramite. I've got Contemptor Cordis that I'll be trying out with the double Grav Fist and extra armor. I've got the Leviathan in the pod. It has the Armored Ceramite, the Phosphex, the Volkite, and the Grav Bombard. And I'm trying out a bunker. It's got the comms relay, the dudes inside get to reroll once a hit, and a void shield. And that is my 3,500 point list.
3,500 point Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigillite list. Up front, I have a Horsemith, this fine young gentleman here. And he is a warlord trait is a Master of Ambush. It's pretty sweet. He's a Warsmith, as I said. He's got Power Fist, Paragon Blade, digital weapons, Artificer, and a Combi Melta. Next to him is my Librarian, who is in Cataphractic Terminator armor.
Does he have a void shield?
Oh yes, right. Sorry, my Warsmith as well has a void shield harness.
Oh, yeah, that's actually what my Previan has too.
Well, there we go.
Forgot about that.
My other HQ, my Librarian, has the Relic Phase Walker. He also has a Power Axe.
Force Axe,
sorry, and a Combi Melta as well. Next to them, 1, 2, 3 tactical squads. All identical with the extra close combat weapons. The sergeants all have Artificer armor and melta bombs. And they are all each within their own respective rhino that has a Dozer Blade and Combi Melta. Behind them, we've got 2 identical Contemptor Mortises with Twin Karis assault things. Oh, I should also mention everything has extra armor for free because of my Rite of War, which is the Hammer of Olympia, which will also be allowing these guys to charge once they shoot rapid fire weapons. Behind the Contemptor Mortises, we've got 2 Vindicators in a squadron. The one here has Power of the Sheen Spirit marked by the character, and they're both, of course, Lazy Vernies. Next to them, a Whirlwind Scorpius stock. Over here we've got 1, 2, 3 separate javelins, each equipped with missiles, multi-meltas, and 200 killers apiece. We have a Predator with spawns and last cannons and the Plasma Executioner turret, I believe. 1, 2 Termi squads, slightly different. The first has 3 chain fists and 2 power swords and a plasma blaster. The second unit inside the Land Raider has 4 chain fists, 1 power fist, and a plasma blaster. The Land Raider itself has a multi-melta, and I believe I gave it the armor.
Armored Ceramite.
Armored Ceramite, because why not? It's 30k. And last, but certainly not least, back behind here we have my Iron Havocs. They're special for Iron Warriors. They're pretty sweet, and they'll be likely inside that giant fortification, which is a Imperial Redoubt or something. Or
it's the Firestorm.
Firestorm Redoubt. And this one happens to be upgraded with a Void Shield and the Magos, or something.
Spirit.
Magos Machine Spirit, right?
Yeah.
Basically +1 ballistic skill for those automated las cannons that you're seeing. So yeah, 3,500 points. The table will be interesting. This should be a good game. My powers that I rolled for my Librarian, before I forget, I rolled Iron Arm and Enfeeble, I believe?
Enfeeble, yeah.
So not a bad combo. Alright, so Iron Warriors deployment. Let's start right over here. Got a unit of 10 Tactical Marines in this Rhino, right there. Next to I've got a scimitar.
Is it a scimitar?
Oh, sorry, scimitar. I didn't say javelin. Sorry, javelin. I've got a mortis. Contemptor mortis. Charis. Behind that is my whirlwind Scorpius. Another 2 javelins. I got that correct here. Javelin. Predator with sponsored last cannon plasma. I infiltrated up here with the 5 termies that are currently inside this rhino. That's just to mark that they're in there. Got another Contemptor Mortis back here. Squadron of 2 Laser Vindicator tank destroyers. This was all infiltrated in, so I've got my Warsmith over on this side, who's got a Void Shield harness. 5-man unit of termies, and at the other end, I've got my Librarian, who also has a relic. Voila! I've got my giant fucking Fortress of Awesomeness, the Firestorm Redoubt, with some friends who are very Void Shielded right now. And over here, I've got 2 more tack squads, both in their respective rhinos. So I have absolutely, positively no reserves, but it's going to be a really, really crazy game. So we'll see you with Night Lord's deployment.
Alright, so this is Night Lord deployment. I'm going to start down here. So I put my Sicaran in the corner, mainly because I deployed it closer to the end and put a blob on the other side. Still tried to hide it from all the last cannons that are over there. Moving down, I have Terminators, kind of exposed. Again, the board is quite open. Could have reserved them. Could have reserved them. I put my building down here because there's a lot of firepower spread out, but I have the plasma support on squat, and I have the Raptors inside because it's a medium building, can hold 20, they can take jump infantry. It'll be interesting. My Contemptor Cordis. I have my relay beacon, so that's there. My 15 tactical marines with Sevatar and Lancei accompanying. So again, we'll see how this all rolls down, but I have a load in reserve, which we'll see in a bit. In reserves, I have my 2 10-man terror squads that are outflanking. I have my Praevian with dudes, the Vorax, they're also outflanking. I have the 5 Combi Blast Terminators, they're deep striking. And I have the Leviathan in the pod that's auto coming down. So it's my reserves, and we'll see you for turn 1. Alright, so this is me trying to steal the initiative. Right here in the wash stains. That's why there's usually a battle map. 6! No, it's a 5. I get +1. Alright, we'll see Iron Warriors turn 1.
At the end of Iron Warriors Sons of the Sigillite turn 1. Let's start over here. So this rhino that was over here boodled out 12 and then another 6 to be there, just kind of hiding from the flanks because Cleary is known to come from them. Scorpius stayed put. This walker moved about 6 inches this way to accommodate for said rhino. Moving down to the center, move 12 and then another 18, turbo boosting this guy up in a position. That's the land speeder. I moved up 12 with the Land Raider and engaged with Clarence's bunker, but did not have much success as I missed. I also fired with the las cannons at the Contemptor, but unfortunately, again, I didn't have much luck as I was snap firing. Over in the middle, this guy also moved 12 and turbo boosted to where he is now. I'm kind of just worried about Clarence's pod coming down. Contemptor moved up 6. Predator moved up around 6. The Warsmith left the unit and moved 6. And the Librarian left as well, but he teleported from this end all the way there to join with the Warsmith. The Termies edged around a little bit, but they're still just very much worried about a drop pod coming down with a certain Leviathan in it. So they held their ground. On the right side, the Rhinos kind of moved up, rounding out the other side there, kind of heading towards objectives. Towards the back, I moved the 2 Vindicators slightly, made a bit of a gap, and I moved the last of the 3 Land Raiders or Land Speeders into there. And last but not least, these guys didn't really move, they just chilled. When it came time to the Psychic phase, wasn't a lot to do, so I cast Iron Arm on my Librarian, and I managed to get that off. For shooting, again, like there wasn't a lot, so we mostly just worried about maneuvering, waiting for Clarence to come in with all of his outflankers and deep strikers. So, a sad revelation about these las cannons. I didn't realize they're Skyfire, so even though I boosted their ballistic skill from 2 to 3, it doesn't mean much unless you're a plane. So
or skimmer.
Or skimmer. So that's good, I guess, on the skimmer front. Just you don't really have any. So maybe next time. I'll probably try the battle cannons if I ever get them painted.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that was turn 1. It's very much the building of the storm. We'll see what happens on Night Lord's turn 1.
Night Lord turn 1. I guess we'll start down here. The corner, you can notice I didn't move my Sakaran. That's because there wasn't really good shots off. The range is only 36, and he has a shitload of las cannons.
I do have a few.
So I figure, like, maybe popping a Rhino for First Blood in return for my Sakaran dying, not a good choice. Also because further on you'll see I had other good choices for First Blood.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Similar reason for the Terminators. They're really here to kind of try to go for either objective, and right now they are fairly shielded from a lot of line of sight shooting. So combi bolters suck, and a charge probably would have never worked.
Yep.
So don't bother moving them. Here we go, the Contemptor Cordis, the probable First Blood getter.
Early MVP contender.
Yeah. So he dropped both Grab Blast, they both hit. I forgot to use the Cordis ability. Oh well.
Didn't need to.
He failed both Jinx saves on the Javelin, and it got wrecked, and it did 2 hull points to the Land Raider, which I then charged and wrecked it easily. His dudes piled out over the side there. They're fine.
No pin, no pan.
I tried shooting with my 1 plasma gun at his other Javelin. I overheated. My guy survived. And I decided to withhold the Raptors. They're still somehow in there. Over here, I did kind of move a dude or 2 closer, and that's because I need them to be within 2 inches of it to get the bonus, so I didn't want to move away or really too far just in case. And finally, my Leviathan the pod came down. I disembarked from it, which usually you don't do, but it's not nighttime, so there's really no reason not to. And I tried to shoot into a Scorpius, and the bombard didn't succeed. I missed with the Meltagun, and then the Volkites just didn't penetrate the armor. But the template's still there, so we'll see what happens. I haven't played the Leviathan in a while, so probably will misplay. But we'll see what happens on Iron Warrior turn 2.
Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigillite, turn 2. Starting
like a 3.
over here. I still did. I forgot to fire it again.
Holy fuck!
That's the second time. I'm like, I won't shoot it at this, then I forgot to fire it. Well, anyway, my Whirlwind, let's start there. My Whirlwind didn't fire at this because I'm really fucking stupid. This Mortis Contemptor turned around with much contempt and actually managed to put a hull point and blow up one of the culverins?
Yeah,
Calivers?
the right culverin.
So his nipple caliver is definitely caliver is damaged. The second Mortis Contemptor joined in but didn't have as much luck. Clearly made some good cover saves. Mm-hmm. This thing has a big shroud around it for the time being.
Yeah, because it landed.
Predator tried. Both Vindies tried, and end result is you're snap firing, I think, and you got a couple hull points. So combined fire from like everything.
No,
the
and
speeder.
the Havocs.
Yeah, even these everything. Almost like it's a good unit with less than optimal angles on my part. Moving down. Like I said, these guys turn to face. Move them 6. I just wanted to give the Vindicators enough space to burst through because we play with a game with object permanence. Because we're not stupid. So they're there. These guys don't score. They do. Pretty obvious why they're staying there. The Rhinos that were here split off. So we had one boosting up about 18 this way, one boosting about 18 that way. I got a little sly and teleported my Librarian with his Phase Walker relic over here. And used my combi weapon to, shoot here. And unfortunately, only the hull point, I think. So, Clarence, very smart to have the, help me out here.
The Sakaran.
No, the thing it has on it.
The Armored Ceramite.
Yeah, Armored Ceramite, helpful.
Oh, yeah.
On this side again, the Tremors that had gotten out of the wrecked Land Raider assaulted the wreck of my land speeder. We play with wrecks being a thing. And
12-inch charge.
12-inch charge. So, useful. The wreck did explode and took out one Terminator, so I think that's fair. What can you do? I disembarked over here with this tack squad and attempted to run them, rolling a whole 1 inch, so they just kind of cloistered away from him. That's not going to end well. They're going to get phospexed.
No, it's snap shooting.
Oh, that's good. That's one thing I can do. I can wait a turn. Over here, I boosted up onto the top of that Fortress Redemption, fired into the side armor of Clarence's, it's a Corvix? Or?
Cordis.
Cordis, right. And unfortunately for Clarence, he didn't have any shielding on his side, so I managed to put a couple hull points and I took out both of its arms. So it got the Land Raider.
And the Speeder.
And the Speeder, but it won't get much more, hopefully, without arms. And that's basically where I leave you, dear viewer. We'll be back with Night Lord's turn 2.
Night Lord's turn 2. I'm going to start down here, but just as a caveat, all my reserves did come in, so that's why there's a lot more stuff. So my Sakaran moved up to here and blew up the Rhino, but beforehand I'd also shot my Vorax at it and then charged the tactical squad. I did a total of like 9 wounds to them, and he put 1 back, and my Praevian took it. So he got wounded.
My sergeant's alive.
Yeah, and he rolled Insane Courage to stick around.
Double ones, baby.
My Terminators dropped there, and I had wanted to plasma down his Rhino to charge with the Raptors, but I rolled pretty poorly to hit, and I just killed it with the Raptors instead. Moving to this bunker, I embarked the support squad into it to get the reroll 1s, and I shot at his land speeder and he passed with cover saves.
Jinking.
I charged my Cordis into his Terminators. They blew it up. Okay, so over here I had moved on a Terror squad 6 inches. I charged, he killed 1 from Overwatch. I made my 9-inch charge to make it a 10. The explosion from the Cordis killed 1 of his power armor guys, bringing him down to 9, so I didn't outnumber him still. I generated something like 11 wounds.
11 wounds to my 3.
Yeah, to his 3. I failed 2 of my saves. He failed 1. I failed, and then I failed my leadership test, and he ran me down. To the north, the Leviathan did 2 hull points, not
2.
3 to his Mortis, which keeps me locked in combat against all of his shooting.
Which is what you wanted.
Extraordinarily useful. And then my last Terror squad came in and killed down his Scorpius, so that's gone. And my tactical squad moved up onto the objective. Sevatar cast Precognition because they don't need the beacon anymore that let me reroll 1 of my failed tests. So it's been a pretty good turn 2 for me. The unfortunate losing a Terror squad, you know, it's too bad, but oh well. And we'll see at the end of Iron Warriors turn 3.
Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigilite, turn 3. Starting over here. This Rhino drove 6 inches and engaged with this unit, killing 1, I want to say?
2.
2? Okay. Round these parts. The unit that somehow survived the Terror Marine assault managed to move up onto here and just kind of consolidate its position. I actually lost 1 of them to an explosion from the Contender Mortis going up from Clarence's Leviathan beating the shit out of it. So it's still very much alive and very much there. Over here, my Termies actually succeeded in charging the bunker and driving Clarence henceforth from it, so that was good. There was a tee up there by this fine young speeder taking down the Void Shield, I believe, which was helpful. Moving down, the Land Raider wreck was targeted and destroyed by 1 of the 2 laser Vindies.
It was actually the Contemptor Mortis.
Oh, okay, sorry, will help. The other laser Vindi targeted Cleary's Terminator unit here, which was also targeted by the Terminators and others. And he's got 1 left. So that makes me happy. Small victories. On this flank, not so well. Clarence's Prevan continued his charge and killed my lone sergeant who was totally going to win that combat. So this flank isn't doing so well. Over here, however, the unit that was in the Rhino that bailed out, they...
Fear of the Legion.
Fear of the Legion. And did 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
For Raptors, which is like the greatest Fear of the Legion of all time. So there's that. Moving right along over here, the speeder who had moved over to help us deal with Leviathan took its dangerous terrain check on this cliff and unfortunately failed it, so it's very much immobilized there. Alive, but not happy. What did these guys help with?
They shot at the Terminators.
Right, because those are close targets, so they were sort of enslaved into that direction. Not the worst turn ever, but I'm not loving a Leviathan still rampaging in my backfield. Also not loving the remainder of this Terror Squad terrorizing. But, you know what? I'll take my licks where I can get them. See you at the end of Night Lord's turn 3.
Night Lord turn 3. We'll start down in this corner like usual. My Sakaran targeted and shot at the Vindicator Squadron. I didn't do any damage. I moved up and shot at the Terminators with the Vorax, and they killed 2 with their rotor cannons and the enhanced targeters that lets them hit on 2s. Over here, the Terminator, he just kind of shuffled around, I think. These guys hid behind the wall, out of line of sight. I threw a frag grenade, I hit 8, I did like 1 wound, just got past, then I charged and killed 2, including the Sergeant, but he did like a whack load of it. Wounds back, and I failed 4 of my saves, so they died. Over here, I had some bad movement options, so I targeted the Dreadnought. I Phosphexed it to overlap onto some of the tactical marines and killed 3 of them through the Phosphex. And then I shot the Dreadnought with the Grav.
Charged and beat it.
Flux Bombard and shredded it, and then exploded the Dreadnought off the melee. I really hoped I wouldn't explode it. So actually, no, it was dead already.
Yeah.
Because it only had the 1 left. Anyway, I thought it had full. Don't listen to me. I shot and charged this Rhino over here with my Terror Squad, and I killed that. I moved up. I cast Prescience on, or Precognition on Sevatar, and I through a combination of bolt pistoling and exploding land speeders, I killed 2 more Terminators off, which would make me way out of range to charge. So that's what happens there, but they're getting whittled down, and we'll see at the end of Iron Warrior turn 4.
Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigillite, turn 4. Starting over on this flank. Didn't go that well for me, unfortunately, because I'm still dead here and here, but the remainder of the Marines pushed around that butte, heading towards the objective. Combined fire from Laser Vindy, this Predator, and the Iron Havocs over here on the readout, all targeting that Leviathan. Managed to finally take it out. And a well-deserved end to Cleary's Leviathan, because it's been rampaging through my lines for most of the game. Moving down, the Termies consolidated their position and pulled back towards the objective, just to ensure each model is within 3 inches. I'm just being a bit cynical. This corner, after engaging, I guess, with the readout, I took out 1 and a bit.
Yeah, and the other laser.
Oh, and the laser Vindy as well. So I took out 1 and put 2 wounds on this other Vorax, so that's something. Towards the center here, moved up, and more or less just head towards the objective. On this side, the lone Terminator engaged with the 3 remaining, what were they, support squad?
Yeah.
Killed 1 and the other 2 ran off the board. So that's very good for me. But it's still anyone's game. See you at the end of Night Lord's turn 4.
Night Lord turn 4. Starting in my corner again. I moved up with the Vorax, keeping my dude out of the terrain so he's not slowed. They targeted the Terminators, and even not being tagged by the Previan, they gunned him down in a pretty poor display of rolling by Ben, actually.
One.
My Sakaran stayed still like usual. Actually, no, it moved slightly over here, and took some shots at his Vindicator, and I shook it and did 2 hull points.
Not bad.
My Terminator moved down. These guys kind of just shuffled around because they're within 3 through the wall, and these 2 targeted his tactical squad and killed the 1 guy that was in vision. I had moved these guys up to try and push them off, kind of make a play, and possibly kill the 3 tactical marines. But I was able to Volkite them down with the Terror Marines instead, and It's looking pretty good for me. We'll see you at the end of Iron Warrior turn 5.
Iron Warriors, Sons of the Sigillite, turn 5. Let's start right here. So, this flank is pretty dead, as you can see. I tried to engage with this unit, and I didn't have any luck. Over here, again, nothing much I could really do, so I spun around these two Vindies. Blew one up, actually, after checking at the end of the turn. Overcharged them both and fired upon the Purveyan and the Vorax. Killed them, but at a great cost to myself. It was also because of the help of these fine gentlemen as well, so Las Cannon Salad helped me out there. Unfortunately, losing the Vindi, or the Terminators here, really screwed the pooch. Moving down over here, I moved all my attacks onto that objective. I also had them joined by my Warsmith, who's got a Void Shield Harness, and that one Termi who's just chilling. He fired a couple shots ineffectively. So yeah, that's where I'm at turn 5. It's not going to go well for me. I managed to pick up a VP by killing Clarence's Purveyan because he had the Relic, which for when we play, Relics are with 1 VP. So it's looking like I'm going to have 4 VP to Clarence's 8, but who knows, maybe Clarence will fuck up his 5th turn.
Turn 5 in the game because we set it to 5 turns. So just starting down here, I shot and blew up his Rhino because he was in the way.
Yeah.
Claiming this objective.
For 3 VP?
Yeah. Ben is claiming this one.
Yep.
I Fury the Legion with my 2 bolters that I could see at his Terminator. Did 3 wounds, but he passed them all.
Yeah.
So I'm claiming this objective for another 3 VP. So that's 6 to his 3. I moved up my Terror Marines and Volkited into the side of his Executioner.
Almost got him.
2. Yeah, got 2. I also thought, before I remembered, that the Terror Marines score, because I usually take them as troops in Terror Assault. But yeah, they're not, so they don't. So, I have 2 objectives. I have First Blood and I have Relic, so that puts me up to 8. And Ben has 1 objective.
And a Relic.
So he's at 4. So it's a total of 8 to 4 for me, so that's a pretty solid victory. Even though he did kill my Leviathan. So, no, it was a fun game. And see you guys in the post-game show.
And welcome to the post-game show. As always, I'm Crabblesworth, joined by Clarence Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
He's not guilty. No. Clarence, good game.
Yeah, you guys watched it all.
You watched it all and didn't fast forward because you're good people and care about the money we're not making on YouTube.
You'll be going to the Patreon account.
Of course,
after this.
the Patreon.
The link, we're going to insert it right here in the post-process.
Let's just sell them tequila instead. Let's just sell them some Patron. Give me your MVP.
Alright, so...
Leviathan. Okay, next.
It's either that, but he only actually... Like, he did take a ton of
They
fire.
won the game for you, eh?
They did it.
Killing that Terminator, you didn't win a game.
Yeah, and screwing around over there.
Even though they died.
They did good.
Yeah.
Because that was like 450 points.
440?
Yeah, like, I don't know, they're
440
them, the Leviathan, and the Terror Marine squad kind of like fucked around with your backfield over there.
The other Marines were having it.
Yeah, we'll be talking about them momentarily.
Later on, yeah.
Yeah.
So which one?
But, is Leviathan. He took your entire army shooting. And
he just did this and like didn't die and killed everything. He was like that meme of the guy swinging the deer around hitting 4 people. That was just you and my whole back zone. It was like, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you know?
Yeah.
I love too that one turn where like half my army fired at you, did a hull point. That felt really good. I was like, oh, that was only like 9 last cannons that I'm making so.
Yeah.
A lot of snap firing though.
Oh yeah.
He's good. He's good. Epic fail.
The other Terror Marine squad. Not those ones, the other ones.
Which ones?
Ones that are dead.
They're all
way over there. They're all off the table. They charged in.
The ones before this unit?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, the precursor to that terrible unit.
Yeah,
that was upsetting when you get 11 wounds on me and I get 3 on you and win the combat. That's a new one. The odds of that were fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
Never seen that happen before. But that did kind of repeat itself with the Raptors a little bit.
Yeah, except I have 3 guys You're like 10,
Yeah.
so I was kind of expecting something.
I do like the Raptors being in that, though.
Yeah,
that's a really big bubble that I can't do a lot to.
Yeah,
like,
you can put Kurz in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurz in 8 of them, I guess, or... But Kurz is only one guy, right?
Yeah, I think he might be very bulky, though, because normally they're just bulky.
Him and...
So be him
17
and
others? Or, no, yeah, two for it, so...
Him and 9 others.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
He's not buffing the bunker, is it?
No.
That would be a bit much.
Stealth and Shrouded.
Fuck. No, I like it. I like it. The fortifications were neat.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah, you definitely have Las Cannon City over here.
Yeah, but... not to shit on 8th too early. At least with me, a lot of the last cannons had to be brought to bear. Like, they had to get line of sight. They had to...
Yeah.
Case in point, the Vindies. Unlike a certain game of 8th, like, I have to move to turn. I have to be cognizant of leaving room around me to bring the gun to bear. So, like, they're very much like a real-life World War II tank hunter. Like, their whole, like, I don't have a turret. I really have to fucking aim at you. So that helped.
It's a Razorback.
Yeah, there we go. But, yeah, it also helped that, like, 4 of those shots were Skyfire finding out after the fact, so that was definitely, like, a reflection.
Yeah, how would you MVP and or fail?
MVP is... I don't know. I'll say them. Like, they were the most supportive.
Yeah, they fucking did.
Iron Havoc's MVP. And that's not saying a lot, they just... When they shot 4 last cannons at something usually got a hull point or took a wound or...
Yeah.
Towards the end, they got more effective. They helped with that. They helped with the Vorax. They were involved in some of the more important firefights, so I'll have to give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
Epic fail, I don't think will surprise anyone. The Whirlwind. Really, I'm the epic fail. I can't say it failed me, I failed it. It's like... You've disappointed me, father. Like, no. Like, the father has disappointed the son, clearly, because you had 2 full opportunities to fire, which both turn 1 and turn 2 just didn't fire them, totally forgot, didn't think about it.
Fuck, we're both so rusty at it.
Yes, yeah, it's been a while. It really has. But, I mean, it still has to take the epic fail, because it, like, epically failed. Close mention for epic fail... The AA. If I had just taken the battle cannons on my readout, maybe I'd be saying, "Oh, readout's great. You know, like everyone should have one." Me, I think that's the bargain. The bunker. It's kind of. It really did help with your plasma. It's lovely that it's a plasma home on top, and you still have the room underneath for guys. Like, that's kind of fun. The fact you could charge out of it helped you a lot too.
Oh yeah,
it's a big one. 2 minutes less. Your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, it was fun doing Legions again.
Yeah.
I do like the lot of dude list.
Bodies are nice.
Yeah, I like, kind of partial to a lot of them. Like Terra Marines, big unit of Night War Tactical Marines. Definitely played it really safe with like my 2 characters and my 15 Tactical Marines, but at the same time you really don't want to take them on with anything that's not like Terminators with power. Like, a lot of shooting, really.
After deployment, it's a regional game. It is. It's where you are and who can you engage.
Yeah, I'm glad my Leviathan stuck around so long. That meant
I forgot to intercept
shooting power. No, I deployed out of...
Right. I could have shot the pod, but not him.
Yeah. And I got out of the pod just so it was like...
And it worked out.
Yeah, but so that was good. I was pretty disappointed, in my my Terra Marines. I did have like a nice big like turn of outflanking and deep striking. It was pretty cool, and then it was like, oh fuck, you guys.
It was aberrant luck in the extreme, because like you were charging me. Mm-hmm. I think I was already a guy down. Maybe it was like 9 to 10.
We were both. It was 9 to 9.
Yeah, at least we evenly matched. But you're charging me, so like you have the attacks, and that showed 11 wounds to my 3. And I still won it? Like, it's just, that makes... The odds of you running, though, like, that was not high. And you
it's pretty bad.
It still happened. But hey, you know. What do you think of the board?
Yeah. It was sparse, but there was still like a surprising amount of line of sight denial.
Yeah. When you get down and...
Yeah, like I was able to hide basically all my units on this side for the entire game.
Yeah.
So, that was definitely effective.
Yeah, I think it's like, it's the physical size of the terrain and the height. But it doesn't need a lot. Like, you could have a bunch of rhino-sized pieces of rock, and like it would do a lot over the spacing.
Your land speed or immobilizing itself was like very useful.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're always annoying to kill, like...
Gods of war, may your hammer be mighty.